Hello, and thank you for tuning into another JD channel video in which I'm at home, obviously, so this is one of my at home videos. I'm going to tell you why, after doing that video about the LG V60, I find myself going back to a OnePlus device. So after about, I want to say 4 months that I've had the LG, it started acting up, and to be honest, I don't know if it's the way I use the phone or if it's because it was one of the first ones that came out, but it had a lot of issues and it was starting to get pretty bad. When I say bad, I was having the randomest fails with that phone that I'd never experienced with any other. I think it was the operating system itself. I can't say that other users have experienced this, but there were a number of things that just started going bad with the fit and finish of that phone, and it wasn't apparent until months later. So after racking my brain for about a month and a half because I was so hesitant of just, swapping phones again, because this would be the third time this year, I made my way to a T-Mobile store and purchased a OnePlus 8 5G. Which also has the same size box as the McLaren. You go inside, it's a red box. I don't know why they got to put it back upside down, but see, it says OnePlus. You open it up, of course you get your welcome guide like always. Then all the kind of stickers, whatever, box covering, says never settle. It's a great phone. And, oh, it is a sticker. Once it comes off. It's kind of nice. I'm going to keep that, no matter how long I keep it. Then, of course, you get your pin to remove and swap your SIM. All the ones that you get from T-Mobile obviously come with their own SIM card. So I moved all my information to a new SIM card. Where else is it? Let's see what else it is. Obviously, you get all your guides. This is the old SIM, or the case for the SIM. And then, of course, cord, which is nice, because I already have 2 cords, actually 3, because I had the 6T, I had the 7 Pro, actually, I guess I have 4 cords now, 7 Pro, 7 Pro McLaren 5G, I went to the S10, which it was a downgrade, but they were having problems with 5G on the T-Mobile network, so I had to do it or I wasn't going to get calls. Then I went to the LG. The LG was a great phone in the beginning, but there were a lot of fit and finish issues. And then now, it's the OnePlus McLaren in the... Let me take off my magnetic case. Oh, darn it. In the kind of prismy color, the one that changes color. Look at that. It's kind of nice. I was kind of hesitant in getting it, but I have this magnetic case that I've had for a few weeks, so I decided, why not do it? Looks pretty nice. So, what happened? So you want to know why I decided to do it? Well, the LG, on paper, was a great phone. It was an amazing phone for the value because it was only $699 if you purchased it outright. I have Jump on Demand, so I just lease my phones. The main thing that was really going bad in the beginning, and I kind of just, let this go, and that's why I kept it so long. In the beginning, if you were on a phone call and you were on speaker, probably a couple of minutes in, your phone call would just all of a sudden go mute, and you're like, what's going on? Then looking online, I see a lot of people had it. This was a problem where they need to patch a software issue because the phone has 4 microphones, and for some odd reason, the phone would just mute itself after a few minutes. It's kind of weird. I didn't know what to make of it, so I said, alright, whatever. So moving on. I just would just make calls, the way it was. I just make it the normal way, using, the receiver and maybe a headset, wired headset. Didn't come with one, so I had to find one. Anyway, so they fixed that. A patch came in, they fixed it. But then later, I started having issues with apps getting hacked into. This doesn't have to be related to the LG. I'm sure it isn't. Maybe it is, but a lot of apps I was installing in it were having issues, and I would get all these alerts that I was thinking were bogus. I try to log into these websites and it was not letting me do it. By the way it seemed by the app developers when I was giving them the system data, etc., it seemed like whoever was accessing it was through the phone itself. And that's kind of weird. You know, it's like, alright, well, if I was using it through a website, I understood. I mean, I had so many virus scan things, McAfee, etc. Well, not really McAfee. I think I had Norton on that one. And you know, it would come and go, and I thought, okay, you know, this happens. People are desperate because of COVID. Okay, so that went on. And then, I want to say what happened recently is I started having more attempts into a lot of things that I just access via apps. I don't even use the websites for these. Keep getting alerts, I keep thinking these are bogus, and then all of a sudden I find out, okay, you know, somebody made an attempt to buy a set amount of stuff from, I want to say, McDonald's. Okay, that was a good one. Well, I only buy McDonald's via the app, and say I just happen to use it one particular day out of 365 of the year, just because, you know, it gave you freebies. I stopped using it because of that, but somebody tried to attempt to buy $25 of McDonald's twice. And the funny thing is, by the time they got to the restaurant, they had to pay cash because my card companies denied it. I saw basically the order change because if you guys have never used the McDonald's app, it basically would give you the end result of, you know, the purchase, how it started, etc., and then the final. So basically the person would order it ahead by the app, they'd go to the restaurant, and all of a sudden, you know, you'd ask to close out. When you attempt to close out is when you're going to find out when it doesn't work or it does. They found out the hard way it didn't work, so I saw them go from $25 worth of food to $5, which seemed like it was discounted. So I'm wondering if it was an inside job on the McDonald's app side. I don't know. I mean, okay, whatever. So I had 3 of those happen, and it was just getting ridiculous because I never had a problem with any other phone. I'm not blaming the LG for this. It might have been, say, an encryption issue with Android. It could have been a LG issue with the software. Who knows? I kept asking LG to give me a patch, and they wouldn't do it. So, I mean, I really did not want to give up on that phone. So I waited so long and so long just to give it options. Eventually, it just got tiresome, and I said this morning, I said, you know what? It's like the 6th attempt on a app in here that I've tried to get hacked. I gotta make a change. And I know I'd never had any issues with the OnePlus Plus. The other thing is, with the OnePlus, it has its own kind of operating system, you know, Oxygen. I mean, I'll go over an unboxing of this phone later. Or actually, I guess I'll do it here, because I've already gone a little bit on it. The Oxygen system, I know a lot of software apps and everything aren't able to adapt to it or kind of talk to it. That works out in terms of a hacking side because it's not like they can easily access it like, say, a familiar system. I know it can be hacked, but I've never seen or heard anybody complain about it. Unless it was their own stupidity, but the Oxygen system seems bulletproof, and, you know, it sells me. The price point on this was a little reduced because it's an older phone. I mean, this is the 5G, and I'm happy with it. I've only had it, you know, probably about a day, but I mean, I can already see big differences. And my Alexa kind of responded. It probably likes it too. I can't go wrong. I mean, I even got this magnetic case, which, see, it's like just a full magnet, just snaps in. Look at that. And it completes the front and the back. You get the warp charger, of course. The 3 cameras. You have the 8K ability. I believe you do. Let me actually just take a look in here. Let's go through the settings. Let's go through the camera. Let's see if it has the 8K option. Don't actually know if it does. I believe it does. Okay. So let's go video. Let's see what options we have. We have the slow motion, portrait. Let's see, the slow motion camera, panoramic. Let's see, where are the settings on this thing? Oh, there it is. It's right in the top corner. It's kind of interesting. Ultra HDR. Aspect ratio is, I'm going to set that to, oh, this doesn't have 16. Okay, so that's one big thing I did notice. On the LG, you have the 16:9, and that was a good feature, as well as the 5000 mAh battery. So far, that's not really a great thing that this doesn't have it. Okay, and so it appears this has 4K. I'm not really gonna, video 8K like some other people. I already have trouble trying to upload a 4K video that I accidentally taped. Say with my other phone, I tried to tape videos and then I tried to upload it. It would say for a 30-second video, it'd say like 2 hours. I'm like, okay, that's not right. I figure out I accidentally taped it in 4K and done deal. I gotta start from scratch. So, I mean, 4K options. Look at that. Sorry. See, so you got the 1080p options, the 4K options, as well as the slow motion 720. That's fine. Actually, you also have you have the 1080p slow-mo camera also. Yeah, I'm not gonna edit this video. I'm just gonna let it just go as is. I'm sorry if I'm just rambling. So I mean, that's one thing I already noticed is it doesn't have the 16:9, which that's not a deal breaker. I still have, little cameras like this that you could tape 16:9 with, as well as my DSLR. The other thing that it doesn't have, obviously I can already see, I mean, it has a smaller battery. It also, this is a benefit on this, 90 Hertz. So if you watch a video on here, it looks remarkable. If you watch the video on the V60, it went back to 60 Hertz. The Samsung Ultra, the S20 Ultra or the Note Ultra, those are both capable of doing 120. This is 90. This is better than your TV already. The V60 was like your TV. It was 60. I mean, that's not bad. It happens, How good do you expect to really watch on something this big? Look how big this thing is. It's like, really? Look at that. It's just barely the size of my head. You're really going to watch a full-length movie on this? You could, but do you really care if it's 60 Hertz or 90 Hertz? Because, I mean, if it's going to kill your battery, do you really want to be 120 Hertz and all of a sudden you're like, deet, 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 your battery's dying? Oh well. I mean, that's why you get a tablet or a TV. Well, thank you for listening to my rant, and I'm sorry if this is just weird that, it's just pointing at me, but decided, might as well try this out because of COVID and because I have this rig set up like this. But, hopefully I gave you a little bit more info on why I think this is a good phone. I mean, for the value, it's a great phone. Monthly is cheap. If I wanted to insure, it's really cheap, as well as it's sturdy. It has a big battery, has just what you need, and the McLaren didn't really freeze on me or anything. The V60 towards the end froze on me so much that I kind of want to chuck the thing. But I believe that maybe that's because it's the first generation or it needed a patch. Who knows? But, let's see how long I keep this. Thank you for tuning in.